So what I meant by another plane was if you look at the numbers we have, you can say this is the plane in which we operate in. You have 1, 2, 3, so on. And then you can think of the imaginary plane as a plane of numbers that lies parallel but behind it. Yeah. And here we have I, which equals the square root of -1. So I believe it's in computer science. Actually, it should be drawn like that. I think it's computer science. You can operate in this plane and yield a result in, we'll say, like real numbers, all real numbers. So even though you're here, you can get something here. Now, I was talking to my math professor about this. Give me a second. Types in Roman. So, like kind of like origins of numbers went on, and essentially you have zero does not equal 0. And this is a set. We'll call this set A. So set A. And then set B is 0. Pardon me, I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but eventually you have the set, and then you have the set of the set, and this equals 1, and that equals 2. Then you have the set of a set of a set. This equals 3, so on and so forth. Something like that. I can't remember the exact details. And then so on and so forth. You have positive numbers, you have negative numbers, and this is a principal. So you have integers 1, 2, and 3, but between every integer you have an infinite amount of numbers. Same thing this way. So technically everything that's here in this imaginary plane is like equivalent here. And that gives us like our universe and the way things operate. They operate off of these principles. There's like 26 to 36 formulas that we use to describe our universe. And if you were to take a computer, enter those equations, those formulas, the computer can generate a replica of our universe. So with all of that in mind, just go ahead and delete all that. We have the plane in which we operate in, typically most people. And then we have this plane, this is imaginary, and so we'll say all real numbers, imaginary numbers. And then what I was thinking, what if we had a plane that was like here? So with these two, we have the way the world, our perception of how the universe operates. And how we were talking about logs and stuff, and I was wondering like something with an equation. So like if you had like a log graph, or it's like this, right? It's kind of bad. And then give me a moment. And then natural log looks something like this. And it's within here that you can have, like you can't have a negative log or natural log because it doesn't exist. And if I understand, this is kind of like that. So my thought was, whatever we were talking about, in order to have this different set of the way math works in this area, these realm of math doesn't work, can't explain it, doesn't, whatever. So what if we had a plane beyond what we know that does work and checks out? Whatever it may be, I don't know. But maybe I can, by understanding how imaginary numbers work, maybe I can get insight onto how whatever this is might work. I always come up with an idea, then someone that's better suited can do the math and figure it out. So that's kind of my thing. And currently we are reading Descartes' meditation stuff and philosophy. Kind of a guy who doubts everything. So I forgot how I tied it in. I don't know, I didn't write it down, so I apologize. Should have. But that's basically what I'm talking about this other plane, you know. And if you know anything about like the universe, like multi-universe, and there's an infinite amount of universes, is kind of my thing. So this is what we know. We discover this imaginary plane. And what if there's just an infinite amount of planes that we don't know about, that exists beyond our comprehension? My thought on that, say it's the second, it's the third. My thought was like people used to think the world was flat. People used to think the world was in the center of the universe and everything rolled around it, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And it seemed irrational at the time, but eventually it was proven. So what if there's other things out there that we don't know about and people say they can't exist, but it does. It's just not proven yet. So just exploring the thought of it, you know, maybe someone someday will come along and be like, hey, this guy was onto something. So that's that. I thought it'd be easier to make a video, so that's why I did this. See ya.